Thank you. And there we go. You're a co-host at this moment. I appreciate you.
Thank you
And
so
good
much,
morning.
Mr. Bean.
Thank you, darling. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Omi. I will be camera ready in just a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, take a moment to go ahead and contact all of your team members and let them know they will have a special training. Want to make sure you guys don't miss this. Okay? So we'll hear from everybody in their wins this morning to begin with, as always, and then we'll dive right into the training. Morning, everybody. I want to make sure that we are contacting everybody in our teams to let them know that we have a special training this morning. I want to make sure that, again, the way that we do business is streamlined and extremely efficient. So we're going to go ahead and be launching our 6 steps to 6 figures, the ultimate, when I say, method on how to build a solid 6-figure income out the gates. So, let's see here. All right. And I appreciate those of you who are hosting and letting people in for me. We'll get started in just a moment.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey,
Great morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's see here. Good morning, everybody. Good
Fantastic
morning.
morning.
Great morning.
Good morning.
Great Super Saturday, Solar Saturday morning.
Yes, it is. Especially when you already have solar.
Mm-hmm.
Got that right. Got my second bill.
That's what I was
No,
talking
that's
about.
right.
Solar works. Solar works.
Good morning, guys.
Great morning, great morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Bear White. I am Kari.
Sure, you're right. Sure, you're right.
Sound like you calling from the garden. All right. So, some old school people, you got that right out the gate. You got that, huh? That's what I'm talking about. So, guys, you know how we do. We're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna make some differences, and we're gonna go over some things today. And that we, just one of the things when people come into the company, they need a simple set of instructions out of the gate, something that they know how to do, something they need to know what to do. And so we'll be diving into that after we get through what our wins and bullet points things we're going to touch on today. But we want to start with our wins again. Let's get a nice little 60-second run on your wins or anything that you learned from this week that you can use moving forward. All right. So I got see a Boudreaux kick us off.
Mr. Bean, first of all, appreciate the platform and appreciate everybody on this platform. So today my wins are, we used the lead generator for about 4 hours and got 3 leads right off the bat. So that's one part of what's happening right now. That's really, really good. Mr. Landon Taylor, man, he's just nails on this. He understands the process and he's great at teaching it. But the second part of that is, for the last couple of years, I've been in Grant Cardone. And without Grant Cardone, how you follow up on a lead is how you follow up on a lead. But that Grant Cardone has put me in a position to win when I call because I know how to invite. I know what the next step is in the process. I know how to do features, advantages, and benefits. I know how to close them out when I start talking to them. All these things we learn from Grant Cardone, it just makes us ninjas, man, when we doing this lead generation. You can do the lead generation, but if you don't know how to take your customer and bring them where they need to be, it doesn't help you. So that Grant Cardone and those calls that we get every day, they nails. I mean, it's just so important to understand that process. So that's my takeaway from the week. And, I appreciate you putting that Grant Cardone in my way, so many years ago, 3, 4 years ago, not only in this situation, but I'm just telling you in my everyday life, I probably sell more now than I ever sold in my life. Like literally $4 million deals, $10 million deals. And just walking in there knowing what to do instead of guessing what to do. So sometimes the client don't know what they want. So that's why you there. And I appreciate that, Mr. Bean, because you put me in a position to win, not just in solar, but in everything that we do, water, security, our credit scores, but more importantly, in the other aspects of my life. And I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
No problem, and I appreciate you. Because like I said, we know how powerful the Grant Cardone program is. We've been, like I said, us. It's a secret to everybody else who hasn't witnessed that, who haven't been a part of the program. And I watched you, go from, being a contractor at a company, and over at Honeywell to running all refinery from leadership and from Grant Cardone. So, man, appreciate that. I'm glad you brought that up. That's a great way to kick off today. Guys, we have those calls put into the Builders VIP Lounge every morning at 6 o'clock. sell, if you don't want to build a team, you don't want to, go to events, all you want to have is a six-figure career or more six-figure career, that's where you should be. So for people who are complaining or people who, say, you have a challenge evolving, and growing, you have a challenge learning and plugging into the system, you have an internal challenge, right? Because the same things you have access to, everybody else has access to, and the people who understand the value of it, right? And people who are taking the actual advice instead of listening to themselves, as those people are working their way out. It's not the system. The system is what's designed, to help you move along. It's supposed to take the heavy lifting off your shoulders and allow you to run a smooth, efficient effort with business, different things. It's one of those things you want to get understanding of. Yeah. So don't like it until you try it, and don't tear down fences until you know why we put them up. All right. So there we go. Carla, you be next. And I still
Great morning, Mr. Bean. Thank you so much. And I co-sign everything that Dale has said about the Green Cardone program. I also went to do a couple of shout outs, one to Mr. Idris Alaka for his training this week on how to design and answer all of the questions that we have on the design of the plan, right? Of the solar plan. So that's one thing. Another thing I like to recognize is Mr. Landon Taylor. Again, I had some challenges with my particular program, but we're working them out, and just the patience and the leadership that he has demonstrated to help us all grow in terms of the lead generation piece. That's awesome. And then also, I had the blessing to practice last night with Mrs. Johnson on how to do an actual solo presentation, to do the build presentation, and the lessons that I'm learning from just practicing doing the presentation. So thank you so much for allowing me to share.
Yeah, I love the evolution. And that's the one thing that you have a lot of people who are in our organization, right? But you don't see a lot of people here on Saturdays, right? And for me, I don't care anything about the people who are not here, right? I love for them to be here. My focus is on the people who are here, right? My focus is on the people who are waking up and really not being lazy when it comes to their lifestyle, right? And so you have a lot of people who are, including business owners, right? And all they want is for a lot of business to be sold, and instead of looking to get richer, you should look to get better, right? It's all about evolution. Okay? I mean, getting richer, wealthier, and freer is a byproduct of you getting better, right? The reason why, all of you, sing the praises of Idris is not because he's just a nice guy. He's a great human being, but he's probably done way more presentations than each and every last one of us combined when it comes to, solar. I'm not probably, he has years and years and years. Matter of fact, he's probably done more solar presentations than most network marketers have actually done network marketing presentations. Right? And so he's an expert. That's by design. That's not by accident. His presentation has evolved over the years, right? Remember, what you focus on will expand, right? And so if you focus on your problems, you'll have bigger problems. If you focus on what frustrates you, you'll be more frustrated, right? And so when you focus on what you need, the tools that you need to sharpen to go out there and be more efficient, more effective, and at some point in time create what we call earnings automation, where the money just comes in, without your effort one day, then that means that you need to get better at your presentations. Right now, I have the best presentation in the company, and that's just an affirmation for me. But I know for a fact that a lot of people can't do a presentation like I can do a presentation because a lot of people don't focus on their presentation like I focus on mine. I am always evolving my presentation with new content, and also shaping it to where it's going to be more customer friendly and it's going to attract all 4 categories of people when I present. Right? I'm talking about every personality trait and every economic status in my presentation. So at the end of the day, you have 10,000 hours of anything that makes you an expert. Right? And so, I appreciate that, Carl. Appreciate you. And like I said, same thing with Landon. Again, Landon's he's been doing lead generation for a while. And so I saw the system work myself personally. I saw the leads coming in myself personally. I called one of the leads that nobody had tampered with personally. So knowing that a person can come in and if you just a hermit, you don't want to be on trainings. The only training that you want is training that's going to help you be a great lead gen person. Perfect. Because you're not required to be on anything. Just like you're not required to be wealthy and successful. Right? So at the end of the day, just like it takes, a lot of man hours, practice, purpose, mentors, studying, and like Kobe did, to become one of the greatest. Just like Michael Jordan did to become one of the greatest, right? Just like LeBron's still doing right now to become number 2 behind Michael Jordan. Guys, it takes man hours, perfecting your trait in order for you to be great one day. But you also have to be equally as good to be a failure. It's hard work and dedication to be a failure, right? The person who does no training, no research on YouTube, watching videos on how to prospect, research in the industry of solar or water filtration companies, you're working really, really hard by not doing that, right? And so you're avoiding all the you're getting exactly what you earn, you're getting exactly what you're working for, which is nothing. Okay, so and that's just a direct way of putting it to you. You are exactly where you made an appointment to be in business and in life, right? So when you look at you 3 years ago or you 10 years ago, the appointments you made to be still on the job, right? To be behind in bills, right? To be in a situation where you don't know when you're going to be retired or if you'll be able to retire. These are the appointments that you set, right? These are the situations you put yourself in, and the only person who can get themselves out of those situations is you, right? And so in order for that to happen, you must get better. You must increase your financial thermostat to where now you go out there and be an asset to society. You must offer something that people are willing to pay you for in order for you to be paid more than what you're getting paid at right now. Make sense? So, Carl, I appreciate that. And thank you very much for your contributions as always. Sarah.
Good morning, guys. I'm kind of rushing so I could be camera ready, so I do apologize if my hair looks crazy. But I want to say thank you so much, Mr. Bean, for assisting me creative when it comes to leadership and promoting community. Because I want to say my win for this week was that I went back and I studied Angel's training that she did on recruiting, on Eventbrite and things like that. And then actually from going to the networking meetings, I was able to schedule one-on-ones with people. And I've booked like over 15 one-on-ones with people from those networking events. And even though they don't all become like affiliates, I don't leave the meeting without something of value. So either they're an affiliate, I have 2 affiliates looking at being builders already. And also, if they don't become an affiliate, I get a name and number from either a realtor or someone who's looking for additional income. So thank you so much. And I will post the link to Angel's training in the Foresight. I just want to say thank you so much again.
No problem. Right. Appreciate you. And your hair makes for good TV. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. So no, we are we are and there goes the camera. And she's off. So no, we're good. But no, I appreciate you. Now I love you. You're one of the few people who send in your IPAs, your income producing activities every day. And again, you send that in every day, regardless of what's on it. I love it. I appreciate you. And when you send that in, you're actually giving me something to either coach you on or something to just give you advice on, or is this some acknowledgement that you did that, and I'm aware of what path and what direction you're going in. So keep on doing that. I appreciate you, and I'm proud of you. All right. And by the way, Laura Johnson will be the last one. So when I get to Laura, there's no more. All right. So let's see here. Sabrina.
Yes, sir. Happy Saturday, everyone. Excuse me.
Just want to start out by saying thanks again, Mr. Bean, for this week. Angel, thank you for your support. We had another successful team lunch on Thursday. We had 41, that was our max number on the lunch. I definitely want the team to talk about their wins, and not me report their wins, but I want to talk about Eddie and our wins. Right now, we're looking at bringing on 5 people by the end of next week. So that as builders, so that will be huge for us. Unfortunately, they're not all on the leg we need them to be on to make Builder 500, but we're getting there. We're still working it. I think the biggest thing that I got from that call on Thursday was what I mentioned to you, what I had a dream about, and it was about the New Year's resolution. That thing was powerful only because you're talking to people every day, and one of the things that they wait till the beginning of the year, the end of the year, is to talk about New Year's resolution. But if we can get them to start working on that resolution right now, where they're putting in the grind, they're setting up their business, they're setting up their life to succeed at the beginning of the year, it gives them a different mindset and perspective upon life, and not waiting for something to happen, but making it happen. So that was the biggest thing that I got from that.
Awesome. Well, that was a great presentation. Again, numbers wise, and anytime you have 40 plus people on a presentation is great energy. So it means that you have somewhere around 20, you say 20 to 30, guests. And so that's always good energy. And so you and Eddie, the way y'all campaigned for that call, to get people on that call, just like you did the week before. Again, I love it. And so I love that type of energy. But at the same time, I love what you're showing and displaying to your team members. You're showing leadership, you're showing value. And even for the people who are not here to build a big team, right? You're showing the people who are here just to sell stuff. Man, these people are committed. These people are out here in the field hunting, they're grinding, they're leading by example. And the people who are character, they'll appreciate that. And the people who are not, hopefully one day they grow up and really see the value in having access to people like you and Eddie. Okay? And so, because again, without you and Eddie, that call didn't happen. That one or the one last week doesn't happen. Okay. So keep on doing your thing, keep on bringing people on board. And what you'll find is that a lot of people who, fell back or they didn't see it fast enough, based on all the spillover that you guys are creating, right? And all the activity, like I said, that leg, even though it may not be in the leg that you needed them to be in, they're in the leg that somebody else needed to see it in, right? And so it's nothing like having a problem like a runaway leg, right? As long as you're not dumping everything that one leg on purpose, that's a problem. But having a runaway leg where that thing just takes a life of its own and it just goes, boom. Now you get a chance to go out there and work the other side while you still address, this side, that's running every once in a while. You touch it up, right? So, no, don't apologize for great things happening in your business, because there's a lot of people out there who would love to have a runaway leg right now, because some people have no legs at all. So I'm just telling you, they haven't did anything. So great job for the week for you and Eddie. Dr. Arlene.
Good morning, sir. I call this my gratitude Saturday, because it is always a blessing to be here in this platform that you and Mrs. Bean have, well, she is Mr. Bean, but hey, go ahead. You and Mrs. Bean have provided. What really stuck with me this week is laboring under correct knowledge, luck. You said that, and I wrote it down. And the reason that it really stuck with me this week is I had to refocus myself. So I saw growth in other areas, in other legs, but I didn't see the growth, the personal growth that I wanted to see with the team this week from in building my team. And I had to refocus and say, what correct knowledge did I not apply to not get the results that I wanted? And the correct knowledge that I didn't apply was the fact that I didn't write out my schedule. I wrote out my schedule for work. I did not write out my business schedule. 2, the correct knowledge I didn't apply was I didn't come back and say, hey, let me be accountable to Mr. Bean and send in my numbers regardless of whether or not I have done the work that I needed to do, because he will hold me accountable. So laboring under correct knowledge. What's the correct knowledge for me right now? It's to hold myself accountable to you, so you hold me accountable to retiring in April of 2026. So labor under correct knowledge.
Yeah, and anytime you give your leader a goal, it's also, it becomes their goal, right? And so for you not to do your part, you're basically helping two people miss their goal, right? And so that's when it becomes selfish, right? And so you have someone that's taking time out of their life. It's not the day, not the week, not the month, that's giving you information that they normally would charge you for, right? That now at that point in time, that's called abuse, and so you don't want to put yourself in a position where, you become a cancer, or you become abusive, or you become manipulative, or you become ungrateful, for the access that you have that, a lot of people, quite frankly, take for granted, right? And so I appreciate that, because again, it's just a talking point. You've always been the most respectful person, when it comes to, my time. And like I said, just among others, but I'm just saying, like, the way you publicly, it's one thing for you to respect the time and honor it, in private, and do the things you're supposed to do. But it shows people, out there that, who don't hear it, normally, you teach them how to treat their leaders and their senior partners. And so that's a beautiful thing. So, but laboring on the correct knowledge, yes, that's one of those things, guys. When like today, I'm going to give you, the training today, and that training is 6 steps to success, the 6 steps to 6 figures, right? The ultimate career and builder's blueprint, right? So that's correct knowledge. So if I'm giving you correct knowledge and you get someone started, right, and you don't use, what I'm going to teach today, you're laboring on the wrong knowledge, right? And so you're putting yourself in a position where you're hoping that you're basically, you're not even hoping, you're making sure that person's chances of success are 0 to none. What you're saying to that person is, I hope you fail. Thank you for signing up. Thank you for the fast start bonus. I appreciate you. Now you're on your own. Figure it out. And none of us are leaders like that. None of us are builders like that. None of us have intentions like that. But what you intend on doing and what you're actually doing are two totally different things. Remember, the path to hell is paved on what? Good intentions, right? And so let's make sure that we understand that the path to poverty is paved on good intentions as well. Because a lot of you guys lay your head down at night and you go to sleep unaccomplished, right? When I say unaccomplished, you had daily goals, right, that you didn't achieve. You had daily mile markers and things that you were supposed to do, that had nothing to do with results. It just had everything to do with you completing those activities, and you didn't do that. Okay. And so you have had this thing where I ask myself, every day, before I go to sleep, did I deserve, right? Because people don't get what, they desire. They get what they deserve. And I always ask myself at night, today, did I deserve? Do I get to go to sleep proud? Period. Right? Or did I leave something on the field? Did I leave something in the trenches? Right? And so I appreciate you, Doc. Keep on laboring on the correct knowledge. Keep on getting lucky, right? So laboring on the correct knowledge yourself, and let everybody else call you lucky and then think that you hit the lottery when the whole time you are the lottery. Kathy.
Great morning, everyone. Mr. Bean, just want to thank you so much for the execution of the lunch that we've experienced with Eddie and Sabrina on this week and last week. It definitely took me out of my comfort zone. I was able to make phone calls and get commitments on the calls. Still doing follow-up, which is a great thing. It definitely supercharged my efforts. It caused me to move forward from where I was and, shake off the jitters or whatever you might want to call it, to be able to approach the list that I've made. And yes, Sabrina and Eddie are leading by example, and it is spilling over into the team. Thank you, Angel, because she's able to give me some tips on a lead that I have. I'm still following, and that's the other thing. It may not happen right now, but I'm still following up on individuals that were on the call on both of the lunch. Well, this last Thursday, people actually called and said, "Hey, I apologize, I can't be on." And Sabrina's like, "You know what, Kathy, I really appreciate somebody even letting you know that they couldn't come on and that they were really interested." And so I'm actually following up with it was 2 individuals, actually 3. And they let me know that they weren't able to be on because of previous, you know, obligations. So yes, I'm putting in the work, but I need to supercharge what I'm doing. I recognize that. Another win for this week. Also, I was able to go back and listen to the training that I was on for Chris Hart. That was totally amazing. Totally changed my mindset. I went back and just notated everything that was given to us for our approach, and whether it's solar or the rain, whatever it is. And so it's been very beneficial to me. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you for helping me to move forward, help me to supercharge my efforts to the next level.
Awesome. And I appreciate you, for going out there and not letting your leaders do it alone. The other thing is this, people reach out to people, let them know that they're not going to be on based on the fact that they respect you, right? Based on the energy that you gave them, the urgency that you had when you sent that message and made that invite, the value that you put on that invite, and you really had something going when you communicated with them, because one day they want to make sure, hey, look, I'm not going to be on it, but don't forget about me, right? And so you get a chance to double back and just tell them how great the event was, and let them know, man, we have people who are really loving this opportunity. I've never seen anything like it, and I can't wait till you experience it. But guess what? I have an actual recording of the event for you, so you don't even have to wait till the next one, right? And then, for me, if I'm you, every one of these people counts. So I'm gonna sit down with them on Zoom, and I'm gonna play the video, because I want to be there. I want to see what they're thinking, and basically, because they're gonna show you what they're thinking. You can see a person go, "Wow," or you can see a person go, you can see them go, "I didn't know that," right? You don't have to hear a thing, right? You can see when a person feels like, um, it's too much, or their ego is too big. You can see, you can see anything you want to see. It tells you a whole lot about a person, and what they get a chance to see is you on there, Kathy, taking notes. You've heard the presentation over and over and over again, but what you do want to do is you want to make sure that you are taking notes in front of them, teaching you the behavior of a successful individual, a successful entrepreneur, a successful new owner of a broker, of a brokerage rather. Right? And so people are going to do the business the way they see you do the business. They're going to come in the business the way they're going to bring people in the business the way they came in the business. So if you are really good on your follow-ups and your follow-throughs, guess what they will do? They're going to follow up and follow through as well. Right? And so they're going to mimic you. And that's, again, the 20%ers who are going to build it big with you. That's what you're going to be seeing from those people. Angel.
Great morning, Mr. Bean. Great morning, everyone. Love everything that everybody's sharing. But number one, I have to thank you and Mrs. Bean, Mr. Bean, for everything that you've given us to learn the system that you've created. And this system you have created, people don't know, you've created through 25 years of direct sales, right? You created this system so that every single company, for those that have not been with you in different companies, the same structure that you win in every single company is the same system that you're teaching everyone. So this system that you're teaching has been tried and won and been successful in every single company. It's not something that you just started and made up, but something that has been tried and tested. And so I want to thank you and Mrs. Bean from the bottom of my heart, because thanks to you, learning what I did this week was, reflect on what it is that I need to do more of. And what I wanted to do more of was to learn the Book of Beans, right? Because we read John Maxwell, we jump on calls with Chris Hart, we jump on calls with GCU and all of the, all of the other people who are winning, but we have the role model right here. We have the beans. Why are we not learning the book of beans? We should be memorizing the book of beans. We should be memorizing how you promote, how you present. We should know, we should memorize how you present, because like you said, I go on each and every call, not only to support the teammates, but to learn from you. Every single one of your calls has, been evolutionized, right? And so like the last call, I actually wrote, each time I always write new things that you say on there that is different from the time before. And you always change something up. And the great thing is I had a person who messaged me after this last call that you did, launch call for Sabrina, and said, "Hey, Angel, I've been on these calls, but this one has really resonated with me. Can I get the recording?" And I was like, wow, that they've been on every single call now, right? Because they're a team member. But this one, they said like this one, I mean, it's really resonated with me and I really like it and I really want to share it. So that's what you teach us to do, is always evolve. And so I want to thank you and Mrs. Bean, because of me studying GCU, me studying how you present, me studying everything that, that you've taught us, I've become a person of value, right? And I learned that this week while I was training my VA, because he was like, wow, this information that you're training me, this information, he got to hop on your millionaire mentorship call, because I said, you need to learn these things if you're going to work with me, because we gotta do it together. You have to be a mini me. That's what I'm training you for, to be a mini me, to take my place. And he was like, wow, and so I didn't even call him anything, but he's been calling ever since he's got on that call with you, Mr. Bean. He's been calling me mentor instead of Angel this whole time. Like every time we got on a call, he's like, mentor, good morning, mentor. What do we do today? Da, 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 and it just takes me back to how I was able to learn from you and Mrs. Bean, and now I can add value to other people, and with what you've given me.
Yeah, and all you got to do is follow the system, guys. People see when people follow the system. People see when people plug in. Right now we all have a screen up right now. We can see everybody who's on, right? We can see everybody who's on. So, which means that we can see everybody who's not, right? And so when the people who are on these calls, these are the people who are basically giving themselves an opportunity to win. These are the people who are saying, pick me. These are the people who are in the actual incubator. These are the people who are actually out there trying to take that next step and looking for that next trigger, right? Because remember, when you look at bombs, bombs and explosives, they have to be triggered to go off. They just don't go off on their own, right? And so you have to find your detonating device. You have to find your trigger mechanism, and you can't find it, not plugging into the system, right? Not going to events. You can't find it, and I'm just telling you, for me, it's always been the events. That's another thing. We talk about the events, guys. When you look at the events, like give example, Steve Jobs, when they had their corporate conventions, right? Uh, they always had something amazing to announce. They always had great updates. They always celebrated all their winners and all their leaders. And again, it's no different than the events that we do, right? When you look at, like, he's always had special sections for his people, for his top earners outside of his innovators and his cabinet members, right? And so when you look at that, a lot of people don't understand that a lot of the things that we do and this untraditional business model comes from traditional business, big corporations. And so you'll have people who will not, some of the things they hear, and that's fine. Again, rich people and poor people are not supposed to, agree on everything anyway. They have two totally different mentalities, right? And I say poor people to be hyperbolic, to make sure it hits in a way, because poor means passing over opportunities repeatedly. I'm not talking about passing over business opportunities. I'm talking about passing over opportunities to get better. Because you'll have people who are their financial thermostat is at 50 grand, right? And then you have somebody whose financial thermostat is at 500,000. Okay, you're 50 grand a year, person 50 grand a year mentality, $4,000 a month mentality. You got somebody up here trying to teach you who's at a $40,000 a month mentality, and you have the audacity to tell that person that what they're teaching is wrong. No, yeah, what they're teaching is wrong. For somebody who is looking to make 500,000 a month, not $500,000 a year. So a person who's making $40,000 a month. Okay, if you're not listening to the person, you're making $4,000 a month, then that means that you are now fighting, right? Improvement. You're now fighting evolution. You're now fighting personal development. You're letting your programming, your $4,000 a month programming, keep you from $40,000 a month, and you're going to get exactly what you deserve to be at $4,000 a month for the rest of your life, right? And so, or until you can't do what you do for a living, then you're going to be at less than $4,000 a month because you, again, put yourself in a position where you took somebody else's advice and that didn't have your answer, who had your problem. You're listening to people who are sitting right next to you in that cubicle, as opposed to sitting next to somebody who doesn't even have a job, who actually owns jobs for other people, right? And so just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It's working for somebody. That's why that person who was working for isn't working. Okay, some of y'all will get that in the car. So at the end of the day, your ego, EGO, right, edging goals out, will keep you broke. You can't have a big ego and a big bank account at the same time. Okay, put your ego in a box. Okay, go make a fortune, and then go open a box and take your ego out. Then you can go be as bad as you want to be. But being broken bad, that's not a good mixture, right? So at the end of the day, if that resonated with you, fantastic. Hopefully I changed somebody's life financially at that moment. Because at the end of the day, I've always listened to people who had my answer, not my problem. I always listen to people who had way more money than I had, because those people had my solution. Those people are the ones who got me out of bankruptcy, foreclosure, repossession, and stuff like that. So for me, when you telling me this is what you should be doing, the person telling me you shouldn't be sitting in the house, looking at walking, like looking this, hoping money comes to you, hoping clients come to you, hoping somebody, responds to your Facebook. You need to be at Starbucks where people are actually at. You need to be at the mall where people actually at. You need to go out here and develop a skill of introducing yourself and connecting with people, and then turning that new connection around to somebody who wants to buy something from you or partner with you. Right now, you again, that $4,000 mentality, that $5,000 mentality, that $10,000 mentality, guys, I'm just telling you, is going to hurt you if you don't let it go. You can be broke at $250,000. I know people who make $250,000 a year, $20,000 a month, and flat broke because they spend $300,000 a year through financing and all this other stuff, And so go ahead and keep on thinking that you're thinking with right now is going to save your life. Okay? Remember, Napoleon Hill said it best. It's called inaccurate thinking. Okay? He says you think you're right because you're the one thinking it. Right? And so, again, put yourself in a position where you allow someone else to think for you. Somebody who has made millions, right? So that's what I did. That may not work for you. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I appreciate you, Angel. I appreciate you, again, being the rock that you are, the person who's always been here from day one. Okay. And so I appreciate you, how you edify, and you edify with your actions, not just verbally. You do more edification with how you move than what you say. And that's what people pay attention to. That's why I know that when a person has actually talked to you about me, I know for a fact that that person has been, because how they embrace me, they can't wait to talk to me. And then when I talk to me, say, oh, he's down to earth, because I'm not gonna, you're gonna build me up here. I'm gonna bring myself back down, but I have to start up here in order for me to be able to impact those people for you. And it's the same thing. Teach the people how to edify you, right? So when they meet you and you're up here, then you say, you know what? You bring it all the way back down here so they can communicate. And so now they now have an appreciation for you from a character perspective, because they perceive you as successful based on the edification, but they know that your success didn't get to your head. Right? They know you know how to handle success. Okay. And so, as stated, then we have Jeremy, then we have Laura, and we'll wrap it up on that, and then we'll dive into the trainer.
You say Jeremy?
Jeremy, then Laura.
All right. Well, Miss Bean, first I want to thank you and Miss Bean for having this platform, doing this every Saturday. I love my morning Saturday calls. It's funny that Angel said that we need to start, writing down what you say and when you're doing your presentations. Me and you had this talk, Thursday, that same conversation, how, I want to start presenting, and I want to present like you. You present so cool and casual, and there's a reason why everybody connects to you and why you're so successful. It's just the way that you carry yourself, and I want to model that. You're a wonderful mentor. You're a wonderful leader. My wins for this week is just being able to be in this platform and learn from you. And I've grown so much since the beginning. When I first got introduced to you, I remember the first time I got on Zoom, and I was stumbling trying to talk and get through just talking on Zoom, and scared because I wasn't used to it. Now I'm on my way to where I'm going to be able to do the presentations from practicing and learning everything that you've taught me. And I just wanted to say thank you. I'm going to keep on busting and grinding, because I'm kind of like, if I see other people winning, it's because I'm not doing something right. Or I might be hustling. Maybe I need to change something about myself to get better. I don't take that, that it just doesn't work. No, it's working. It's just I ain't found out what's working and how to do it yet. And I will succeed. But I just want to say I appreciate you.
Hey, Jeremy, let me share something with you. Your humility and really, I appreciate it, has opened up doors for you. That, again, people who have egos have doors slammed on them, right? They don't even know what the door looks like, because the ego's so big that they can't see the door, right? So at the end of the day, that's why you basically have become somewhat of my project manager when it comes to, the commercial deals, right? And so right now, while we're doing the commercial deals, the test pilot, you're hanging around with Liam and the rest of those guys and putting deals in. Again, you're the one who's collecting data, and figuring out how everything is going and how everything is moving. Again, you are playing yourself into an integral role in what we do, the bigger picture, overall picture, based on, again, your humility and your application. Bro, I would never empower anybody who has an ego, right? Because what happens is, when you empower somebody who has an ego, you give them the power to tear down what you built, right? If a person who has an ego in this group, you get to build 8,000, I'll never call you a leader. I'll congratulate you for getting to build 8,000, because you deserve it. You got to build 8,000, but I'll never call you a leader, because when I call you a leader at that point in time, that means that people can now follow you and your bad habits. I am now giving them the green light to, follow you, ask you for advice, and so that'll never happen, right? You're always the protector of your flock, right? These people you're responsible for. So even though you may have wolves, amongst the sheep, the wolves at some point in time, they know better when it comes to, attacking the sheep, but they're still wolves nonetheless. And some of them are wolves in sheep clothing, right? And so, but you just keep on doing what you do. I appreciate that. And going back to that presentation style, when I first met my last mentor, this was back in 2008, and his presentation was flawless, right? Literally, when I say flawless, no mistakes, jokes on point, big vision, big picture, everything, and he just captivated the audience, right? And it's like his presentations were an hour and a half long, right? But people didn't go anywhere. And Idris know who I'm talking about. Angel knows who I'm talking about. Dale, Laura, they know who I'm talking about. And so, when I first met him, though, right, in 2008, I hadn't made $1 million, right? I wasn't doing presentations from a standpoint of being good at a presentation. And so I'm watching this guy like, man, wow, man, I would love to be able to present like him one day. So I would take all the notes and I would take notes and 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 take notes. And then I had binder of notes, but I couldn't do his presentation. Okay. Because it was his presentation. And he designed his presentation so that nobody else could do it. So, and it hit me when I heard a guy by the name of Aaron Gray do a presentation. Okay. Aaron was real. This is what this empowered me to be able to do a presentation the way I do presentations, because you had Aaron Gray and then you had this other guy, and who wasn't my mentor, but he was a clone of my mentor, right? And so you put these two guys together. One is just like a machine, and everything is out. It's just too perfect, corporate, even like to a point. And for me, Aaron was more relaxed, more laid back. He would tell jokes, and like I remember one joke they told this joke back in 2008. I still remember it. He's like, "So this is why y'all, man, this is why y'all want to get free." He said, "When you're free, your wife is free. When your wife is free, it means that y'all at home while everybody else is at work. And when y'all at home while everybody else is at work, you can do stuff at home that they have to wait till they get home to do, right?" And everybody bust out laughing because they knew exactly what he was talking about. And so, but that was just the fact that he was smooth, he was calm, he was cool, he was collected. And I found myself in his presentation, right? And so you're going to find yourself in people's presentations. And again, you're just going to take it, own it, evolve it, to where you wrap that presentation around you. And next thing you know, I may be the presentation that you involved in too. But to each and every last one of you, there are a lot of people out there who may want a more professional presentation with no laughter, no jokes, straight to the chase, and that's great, but that's not me. But you'll find that presentation, you'll find your presenter, and that person will inspire you to evolve your skill set. And so, but I appreciate that doesn't go unappreciated. Thank you very much, because I do work hard on what I do. And when you make it look easy, guys, that means that you really do, care about what you do and how you present to people. So thank you. Laura. And then
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Training.
So today I just wanted to speak to the power of community. Following Miss Angel Trend and following Jeremy, and what they said is just so powerful, because Angel spoke about the system. And so I just wanted to say that, the system that you've created has created a community, and this community is so powerful. And sometimes when people first enter into the community, they don't understand the power of the community and how it can impact you individually, but also impact your business in a positive way. Sometimes people come in and they don't want to change the behaviors that they've been doing. They don't understand the need to evolve. And they don't make the commitment necessary to do that, because they don't see the value. But, if you stick to the system and you just hang in there, something will touch you. This week, Mr. Bean, on the Millionaire Mindsets call, you dropped a nugget, which was a boulder. And I think you just dropped it on my head, on my foot, on my toes, on every part of my body, because it just rocked me to my spirit. And what you said, and I'm going to read it: if my group is not growing, then I am not growing. And I need to address the area where I'm broken and fix it. I must have accountability for my wins and my losses. And that statement, it just went all through me. It just went all through me, because, when I'm evaluating my group, I see what's good and I see what's bad, but it's not growing. And so that's my fault. That's my responsibility. And so I had to really take a deep dive into myself and say, what is it that is in me that's creating the lack of growth in my group? And so one thing I realize is that I have to be totally obedient to anything that you say to do. I have to go ahead and do it. And one of the things you spoke about in the last week was doing presentations and increasing three-way calls. You said last week that if we're not doing three-way calls, it's because of our ego and that we're trying to do it all by ourselves. And so that's totally opposite of community. So I increased my three-way calls. My team this week has increased their three-way calls. I have a builder that got 2 bills this week after, having not gotten anything for a long period of time. And I also now, as Carla shared with you, Carla and I are practicing to do a presentation. So we're doing it, we're recording it, we're reviewing it so that we can get better. And we are watching your presentation so that we know how to touch each of those personality types and each of the different people out there. So thank you so much, Mr. Bean, for everything that you do. Thank you for allowing me to share. And I hope I attempted to respect the 60 seconds, which I know I didn't, but I was working on it. Thank you, sir.
Most the most. I appreciate you. And and the thing about it is that you start off with the word community, right? When you look at all of the new multimillionaires, right? That's out there on the social media platforms, out there in the social media world, all the ones who have the big subscriber bases, they all have a community, right? They all have fanatics, they all have fans, they all have followers, they all have colleagues, and they all have people who actually built, who are building with them. And when you have a community, you have correction. Like, give you an example. Going back to the Millionaire Mentorship call. For me, y'all know when I'm on, I'm on. I don't even read the chat, right? So, like, and I also have my screen on the speaker view. So, when it's on speaker view, basically all I see is me, and so I don't pay attention to anything in the chat. So, but what I got a lot of feedback last week was there was someone in the chats, talking about um, I was talking about events, I think, and talking about the table. And again, guys, remember, you're not going to, and I appreciate those of you who communicated with the individual and kind of guided them, he or she, whoever it was, on, what I was saying as opposed to what they understood, right? And so that's the thing. You have a lot of people who, they're fighting to be understood as opposed to fighting to get the understanding, right? That table, you don't know what that table represents for somebody, an opportunity to know that somebody recognized them. That table for somebody represents an opportunity to show people that they've achieved something and they put themselves in a position where the other people who didn't work as hard as me, who are not sitting at this table, they're sitting back there and on other tables or in population, right? It gets a person closer to the stage, right? When you put a person in those situations, it gets them closer to the stage. So the closer they get to the stage, the easier it is for them to get on it. But when you're close to that stage, you're at that table and you can feel the vibrations. You can feel the room rumble. You can see the excitement on a person. You can see the tears coming down their face when they're on stage. You can't see that from the cheap seats, right? You don't get that same energy. You don't get that same impact. And so again, what moves you may not move somebody else. But what happens is don't make yourself a target and appear to be toxic, guys. If you don't understand something, what you do is you take that, that misunderstanding and go to the person who had the actual training and ask them what do they mean, or ask them why you feel so conflicted about what was just said. Okay? Again, because it's like when your filter is on for positivity, you'll get it. If your filter is on for negativity, you'll get it. And so your brain is going to give you 100% of what you plan and what 100% of what you want out of it. Some people come to calls and events to get nothing out of it, just to disprove it, right? And so it's not about you. It's about who you represent and who you say you want to help, right? And so, and I'm just telling you guys that's important. So, you know what, Chris McKim, I'll let Chris go, and because Chris is speaking with me on, and guys, we got some speakers coming up. Like I said, y'all got a chance to hear from Matt, and Matt did the second presentation, on Thursday morning at 7 a.m. I was at 9 a.m. my time. I wouldn't have did it at 7. But no, I would have, but they had 55 realtors on that thing, on that joint, man. I tell you, they were fired up, and everybody was crunk. Then we got Chris McHenry is going to be speaking with me on Tuesday. Then we have Idris speaking with me the Tuesday after that. Then we have Arlene speaking with me the week after that. Guys, we these Landon's coming, all these presenters, we're going to make sure that you guys get some stage time, some visibility. Make sure you guys, but you got to be out there in the field hunting. I'm not putting anybody on the stage that's not presenting already. This is not where I put you up there and highlight you just because we cool or just because I like you. That's not how you get access time with me because I need people to know that the person who's in or who's doing this presentation, they're presenting because they present, right? And so if you're not in the field, you're not out there hunting, you're not out there doing presentation, you won't be speaking with me. You can still speak on your own platforms, but you can not with me. So Chris, go ahead, bro.
Thank you, sir. Morning, everyone. Had a great week. And I feel like it's a great week because I can't write down all the things that happened. And I feel like so much was accomplished this week. One of the major things that I think happened this week was I submitted my first commercial deal to Dan, which was pretty good. I had a good conversation with him. And then one of my builders, she's going back through a list of all of the lending, because she's a commercial lender. So she's going through all the loans that were funded, and she's just going to start submitting commercial deals to Dan. We did her launch, and one of the things that I took away this week is, and I forgot who I was talking to, somebody on this phone, but sometimes we have the training and we listen to a training and we write down notes, but we never actually execute it. So we hear it and we don't actually execute it. So one of the things that I had been doing when I was bringing people into my team is I wasn't launching them. I wasn't doing their business launch like I've seen in the last couple of weeks. And I would just have people stagnant. Like I would have builders not doing anything. So I started seeing Mr. Bean launch Roberto, then he launched Matt and Roxy, and then that started triggering me. And I was like, I got builders on my team that I've been talking to and all this, but we haven't launched their business. So now when I'm talking to builders, I'm instilling it on the first call before they even sign up that we are going to launch your business. As soon as you sign up, when are we launching your business? Like, we're going to get you 4 and we're launching your business. That's like in the first sentence. And I started doing that more now because of Mr. Bean, like pressing it, like this is something we need to be doing. And like I said, the training that we've gone through, various training and various videos that we watch, it says business launch, but no one was advertising and no one was pushing it. And I think when it's pushed and advertised, then you start saying like, why am I not doing that? Why shouldn't I be doing that? Like, shouldn't my team be doing that? And that's exactly what I was saying in my head is like, man, I should be on a call with my builder and 10 or 15 of their people launching their business, because then they're immediately going to go to 4 or pay no more. So I just want to appreciate that because, I consider myself a leader, but I'm a humble leader, and I listen to Mr. Bean all the time and me and him talk. So I appreciate all the calls that we have and the invitation to these trainings because I know that I have a lot to learn still. So I appreciate you, Mr. Bean.
Hey, no problem. And again, guys, here's the thing. Chris is the epitome of the person who leaders want to work with. Chris is not in my organization. I didn't sponsor Chris. Chris is not even on my binary tree. But when you find someone who respects you, who calls and reaches out to you, and they really do appreciate, when you pour into them, you make that person a part of your platform. You get that person access because all the leader wants to know is that they're being appreciated. It's like I have, and I teach my sons this. My sons have kids that come by my house that are more active or more, selfless, or treat us probably better than they treat us, right? And when they treat us well, they treat us with respect. But I'm just saying that it's like it's just something about somebody else's kids coming to your house, right? And so you can point and say, man, why is he packing more bags than you, bro? You live here. Why is he? Why is he asking, bro, you live here? You know, and so and it's the same thing with us. You're always going to have people in your organizations who don't appreciate you and don't get caught up on it. Okay. Because remember, it's not your fault that they don't know any better. Right. So what you do is you teach people how to treat you by working with the people who respect you, regardless of whether they're in your group or not. Okay. And so as a leader, and so when it comes to that, the game, how you say the game is supposed to be sold, not told. Sometimes you can catch the game, and he caught it. Okay? He literally caught it. He said, you know what? Boom. If he's doing this, I can do that. Same thing Sabrina and Eddie did. When they saw, me, now it's like the kids in the house. Now all of a sudden you ever notice how you pick up somebody else's kid and your kid wants to now all of a sudden jump in your arms. Now you're all of a sudden the most important person in that world. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Dude, you didn't call me daddy in 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now it's daddy, daddy, daddy. So it's one of those things where like Sabrina like and Eddie like, whoa, hold on. Roxy and Matt, Roberto and Veronica, hold on, man. We guys, we and so and again, indirect pressure. You got to learn how to move people and push people without putting your hands on them. See, I'll take it personal. You can hear people who don't know any better, and these are people who call themselves leaders. They'll get on calls and scream at people. Yeah, I'm not one of those guys. I don't care if your camera's on or not. You know what I'm saying? If you're not doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, not getting exactly what you're supposed to be getting out these calls, that's your fault. Somebody's getting rich off of it. You just ain't. Your family have to deal with you and your bad habits, and not me and mine. I'm just telling you. One more thing that you should know is this. I'm going to train every week, period. I'm going to present every week, period. I'm going to get better every week, period. If I don't get paid with you, I'm going to get paid with someone else. As a matter of fact, I'm preparing myself for someone who appreciates me. I'm getting better so I can attract a bigger client or a bigger customer or a bigger partner. Okay, someone who can bring more value to the table than the people who don't appreciate me at all. I've always done that with that understanding. That's why I've always excelled. I look young and handsome because I don't stress out about y'all. I don't. That's the network marketers. They stress out. They got all the wrinkles, right? Bro, it ain't that serious. You know what I'm saying? Like it really, you have to understand that people are going to be people. And if you're in the people business and you don't understand people, you're the wrong person for the job. Whether you're selling or building, you're in the people business, right? 360-degree leader. That's the book. I've been promoting it forever. Can't make you read it. Can't make you go listen to it. There's an audio attached to it for those who don't like to read, right? That's how you move people. That's how you move mountains. 360-degree leader is in full effect. I don't just impact my people. I impact everybody's people. And you have the same ability to do the same thing. You are just choosing not to walk into your greatness. That's your choice. Okay? Nobody forced you to have bad habits and keep them on purpose, right? So at the end of the day, I appreciate you, Chris. Again, I'm looking forward to presenting with you. And I love, by the way, I love seeing your screenshots of your presentations in the big group, showing people that you're out there hunting, 8 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, presenting. And I'm like, it's letting people know, man. You know what? Ain't nobody gave Chris anything. People can't make excuses for your success and why they're failing because you show them this is why I'm winning and this is why you're not. Okay? And so I appreciate that. People need to see things like that. All right. So what I want to do right now, I'm gonna look coffee, get myself ready. And what I want to do right now, I'm going to I'm going to do his training, and it's going to be a cutout. It's going to be a cutout, for us to use as a template. So one of the things that I've heard, and some of you guys may have heard or may have even experienced, is when a person gets started, right? That when they get started, they really and truly don't know 100% of what to do or what they should be doing. Okay. And so I want to make sure that we get this thing one-stop shopping, where people can really go and find what they need. Let's see here. And before I do that, let me make sure okay, yeah, I put that right here. Okay. So I want to make sure that guys in your absence, someone can launch. They started doing a presentation like Chris can launch, and then boom, give this brand new person, Arlene, get started. He can sit down with Arlene and do a fast start training, basically. Okay. Or Arlene, he can send it to Arlene if he's just that busy, right? But you want to be able to do it with them. And so people can learn this, people can really get, wrap their mind around this. It's real simple. Again, when I made, almost 8 figures in the coffee company, this was something that we use, but this is on steroids. This is evolved to what we do. Okay. And so that's why I call it the 6 steps, not the 4, right? Because we're doing things bigger, better, stronger, and faster. We are high ticket sales brokerage. We broker companies. You know what I'm saying? We broker businesses. I mean, we have, again, like I said the other night, you have people who are coming to you looking for options. And when they get here, you're the person supplying the options, right? You have 4 different options for people. Okay. And I'm just telling you, one of the things that I would suggest you guys do is, once I actually finish this training and Omi cuts it up and she puts it on YouTube in a singular form, take this and master this, because when you can walk a person through, this is how your retention gets better. Okay. So when a person gets started, they know you're a professional, they know that you know what you're doing, or they know what you're talking about. And so, you know what, this makes sense. You know what I mean? And I could do this. This makes sense. And so when it makes sense, and they know for a fact that the person who's training them is doing this and following this, they believe in you. You become the leader. You have great synergy. You have great trust. And where there's trust, there are results. Where there's trust, there's sustainability. Where there's trust, right, there's longevity. Where there's trust, that there's, again, a group growing. Okay. When a person can't trust and they don't believe in you, people scatter, right? The mob leaves. So, with that being said, go ahead and only I know you're in the back, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kick it off like I would if it's an actual training. So, hello everybody, this is Samuel Bean from the Build Network today, and today's conversation is going to be about the 6 steps to 6 figures. Guys, this is the ultimate blueprint for career and builder partners when it comes to the Build Network. Okay, and for those of you who don't know me, again, you can know me by going to samuelbean.com. Bio, everything is there. But when it comes to what we're doing right now, guys, we want to make sure that if you're in a build network, that you know how to get a person started. That's one of the most important things out there. If a person starts right, guys, they can finish right. Okay? And when you get a person started right, you get a person to have some successes, some wins, and some profitability, you become their champion. You become their hero. You become their leader. And you want them to look to you for information instead of looking around you for information. So let's go ahead and begin. Okay. The first thing that you want to get when you sit down with a person is their why. Okay. Why are you doing this? Right? What do you want to accomplish? Okay. When you have a person's why, guys, and you have their goals, okay, you have something that you can blueprint activity and income around. Okay. You also have something that you can use as leverage, not manipulation, as leverage to make sure they stay on the path to success, to make sure that they do exactly what they committed to do to get those goals accomplished. Okay. Without a why, guy, you have no reason. Right. And so when you have no reason, you have no leverage. Okay. And when you have no leverage, you have a person quitting. Okay. And so again, make sure you understand exactly what a person's financial why is, what their personal why is, okay, and what their family why is. Okay? And so that's very, very important. Number 2, you want to complete your solar certification in the back office Okay, regardless of whether you want to do solar or not, again, it's very, very easy to do, right? It's just you watching 11 2 to 3 minute videos and answering some multiple choice questions. Go ahead and get the certification out your way. That way, when someone joins you that wants to do solar, you can let them know with credibility and integrity that you completed it, right? For those of you who don't want to do solar, right, and you want to do water, okay? Mrs. Being the Director of Operations for the Build Network and Rain H2O. And so that she's actually done some videos, some trainings and things like that that you do want to go and watch as well. Okay. She has a great presentation that you can go study. She also has a training on the water with Q&A, and then she has a protocol on how the mentors and mentees get paid. Okay. So again, complete those certifications or watch those videos. Number 3, yeah, is you want to make sure you build a list of contacts. Okay. And this is where I'm going to spend a little bit more time. Okay. Because the list of contacts, this is your capital, guys. Okay. It doesn't matter how much money you have in your pocket. Like the late, great Jim Rome says, you don't need money to get rich. You need a personality. Right. Okay. You need to have people who trust you and want to do business with you. That's your capital. Okay. People are being born every day. So people who are looking for an opportunity are waiting for you to reach out to them. And so what you want to do is you want to build a list of contacts. Okay. And what you want to do is you want to first identify how you're going to participate and build. Okay. So if you're going to participate and build on the solar side, okay, identify that and make that plain. Okay. And then we're going to build our contacts around that. If you're going to build around Rain H2O, guys, identify that, make that concrete, and then we're going to make our list around that. Okay. If you're going to build around security or the smart money club, guys, again, identify that, make that concrete, and then build your list around that. Okay. And then you'll have everybody else. Okay. So when it comes to the list, you want to have at least 50 to 100 career and broker candidates. Okay. 50 to 100 career and broker candidates. Okay. So again, when you look at that, we're talking about people who are opportunity seekers, people who are looking for business opportunities, right? And then you want to have a list of 50 to 100 homeowners. Okay. This is where it's unique for us, guys. Again, when a person owns a home, okay, we know for a fact that we have something that they need, they want, and can afford. Okay. And so when you have that list, now you can go to work. Okay. Now, when it comes to that list, you want to make sure you categorize that list, right? And I call this list the 6 checker list. Okay. The 6 checker list is very, very unique, guys. And so you're going to have some people who have 0 checks, 2 checks, 6 checks. The more checks they have, guys, the faster you should call them. Okay. And so the first check, and no actual order, but the first check, guys, is wealthy people. Okay. This may sound a little bit crass to some of you guys, but I'm gonna just tell you, rich people can afford what you're selling in a high ticket platform. Plus, they already have the value for it. Okay. A lot of rich people have rich philosophies and wealthy philosophies, so you don't have to sell them. It's a transaction where they're already ready to buy. They just need to know that you are selling it. Okay. So rich and wealthy people, again, not only do they have the ability to buy immediately, they have the credit to buy immediately, they also have a referral base of people that when they refer to you, their people qualify as well. Okay. Now, the second check is on the second check, yeah, is this. It's the financial wherewithal to get started, period. Okay, or to buy a product. The financial wherewithal to get started or to buy a product. Okay, so a person either has $200 and $149, $200 to get started. Okay, that's a check, or they have the credit to buy something. Okay, and so again, that's the same category because you're either buying, they're either selling or you're recruiting. Okay, and so I want to make sure that that person you're talking to, they either get a check for that, they have enough money to get started, or they have the credit to buy something. The third check is that they're a homeowner. Hey, that's a check. Okay. It's probably one of the most important checks. So when you have a homeowner, guys, actually have a person who can use a solar, person who can use a water filtration system, person who can definitely use the security, right? And a person who can use, the financial resources that we have in our Smart Money Club, because we want to make sure that that person, never ever loses their house, never has a leverage or refinance their house. We want to make sure that that person's house becomes a building mechanism for you and for them one day. We want to be able to use that house as a testimony of all the things that we put in it. Okay. And so homeowners know what? The homeowners. And for those of you who are actual homeowners, okay, right now who are in the business, okay, and those of you who are coming on who are listening to this, I advise you to go back to everybody who's ever sold you anything, to put on your home, in your home, around your home, any services provided to your home. Go back to 100% of those people who did business with you and now ask them to do business with you from your side of the table. A lot of you guys are leaving meat on the bone by not going to those individuals who have come and knocked on your door or who were referred to you by other people. Okay. Now, the next one is influence. And so if they have influence, a person who, is a community leader, person who has a nice status in their job, maybe an entrepreneur, person who may be a pastor or a coach, they have influence, right? And they can move people. They get a check, right? If they don't, right, they don't, right? And so again, we don't want to impress, ourselves by giving all these people all these checks they don't deserve. We really want to know who we're talking to. Okay. The next check is a go-getter. Okay. The next box is a go-getter. Okay. If that person is that person is self-motivated, you don't have to tell them to do anything. People are they're on the training calls, they're on the presentations, they're out there in the field, they're out there hunting, and you may or may not know it. But these are the type of people who, they don't need you to motivate them or inspire you. They just get their marching orders and go. Those type of people, you know it by their own lifestyle. They either get a check or they don't. Okay. And keep in mind, these people I'm talking about, guys, if they don't, meet these boxes, you don't take them off the list. You leave them on the list. You just know who they are, who they're not. And then you just use that as the pecking order when you communicate with them. Okay. Because some people, what they do is they go to the needy people first. And guys, needy people are needy for a reason. They have bad habits, bad philosophies. And you think because they need money that they're going to be the best candidates. No, they're going to be the worst candidates at some point. Okay. But you go through the numbers to just give them a chance as opposed to playing God. Okay. Because every dud knows a stud and vice versa. Okay. So go-getters. The last of the 6 checkers is no ego. Period. Okay. And if a person's not, if they have an ego, they're not coachable, they're not teachable, they're not trainable, right? You want to make sure you have people who, regardless of what level of success that they've actually had, that person will come in and follow these systems that we have in place. And I said systems, right? Save yourself time, energy, money, and stress. Okay. Because dealing with people with egos leads to stress, right? And so I'm not going to let you stress me out. I'm going to make sure that if there's no check in that box, right, you may be the last person I talk to, all right? So again, you want to have those 6 checkers in place, okay? Now, when you get that list, together, what I would suggest you do is get with your senior partners and have a calling party, okay? That calling party is very, very important. So it could be in person or it could be on Zoom. But you want to have a calling party after you get the scripts, after they've taught you what to say. But that calling party provides a lot of energy in a room and it gives you a lot of courage. Also puts you in a position where if you're making mistakes, your senior partner can go and make corrections and give you advice. Okay. And so that way you don't go through 100% of everybody on your list saying the same thing and making the same mistakes and ruining each and every last one of those resources. Okay. I always have this thing where I tell a person, call 5 people and then call me back. Right. Or we'll call 5 people together and we'll stop and then we'll make those adjustments and make those corrections. Okay. because each and every last one of those individuals who are on your list, there is a value associated with the individual when they come into the business the right way and do the right thing. Okay. There's also a value that you don't realize when you do the wrong things and you ruin that business relationship from the start. That person never comes in and you never tap into the resources that they were going to bring to the table. Okay. Now, when you actually go out there and you are dealing with builders, okay, you want to make sure that you book that person for showcases. Okay? And guys, showcases are what we call presentations, okay, to expose the business opportunities and the products that we sell. Okay. So when it comes to those showcases, I am going to, bring a new person on. And when I bring that new person on, I'm going to ask them, what's the least busiest day of the week for you? Okay. And then let's say they say Tuesday. Okay. So, okay, well, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to give you and your team my next 4 Tuesdays. Okay. And I'm going to launch your business. And at that point in time, what we're going to do is I'm going to do the presentation the first 2 times. The third time, you're going to do the presentation with me. Okay. The fourth time, I'm going to watch you do the presentation. Okay. And then while I'm watching you do the presentation, I'm going to find someone else in your group as well that I can continue to do presentations for on those Tuesdays if you have someone that's dynamic and somebody who's worthy of that time slot. Okay. But my other goal is this is to find someone else to put on those other 4 or more fingers. Okay. So I'll find someone for Wednesday. I'll find someone for Thursday. I might find someone for Saturday. Okay. And so you want to find at least 4 to 6 people right away that you can give a day to, right, to do their next 4 or more presentations. Okay. And so that's important. So showcases, guys, are going to show you how to get to, build the 8,000 where you can be at a 6-figure annual income, and executive 15, executive 25, executive 100, the executive 250. That comes from doing showcases, guys. All right. So that's important. You want to also set a 30-day goal. Okay. And out the gate, the simplest 30-day goals is one, making sure that you are on a builder's pack. If you got started on anything other than builder's pack, okay, you want to make sure you go ahead and level up. Okay, that's 1. 2, you want to make sure that you get 4 so you don't have to pay any more. Okay, which is also the foundation of our building. When you're actually doing your showcases and you have someone that you're representing in that showcase that have guests on there, and that person has their 4, that's something that you want to announce at the end of that presentation. When that slide says get started for $199 and $99 a month, I can say in this example, okay, that the person who I'm presenting for today, they've already gotten their 4, they just got started, and they'll never pay $99 ever. Okay. And so that gives them social proof because it's not about you. You're going to be looked at as the expert. Okay. But their friend who just got started, or their auntie who just got started, or their colleague who just got started that's already got their 4 and they're no longer paying anymore, they're running a business for free. Guys, that now becomes the linchpin to you getting to builder 8,000 and higher. Okay. Also, getting 3 utility bills. Yeah, you want to make sure you get 3 utility bills, guys. Again, it's as easy as you make it. We have the scripts. You just go through the process, and be committed to evolving your conversation. Okay, but we'll show you how to do that, and we'll be with you 100% of the way, right? And then you have a financial goal. Whatever you want to get to financially, however much money you want to make in your first 30 days, that's a 30-day goal. Okay. Step number 4, become a product of the product. Okay. You want to create a testimonial and an experience, guys. And when I say become a product of the product, we have bill rewards. Okay. When you actually use the bill rewards, guys, and you go to a movie or you go do some shopping, right? Or you go on a vacation, or even just booking a vacation or booking a hotel, right? or going to a restaurant, to a steakhouse, whatever it is, use build rewards immediately, right? You want to be able to give value to build rewards. And also, you want to also start, if you don't have great credit, guys, start the credit repair process. Okay. If you're talking about being a wealthy individual, a person of substance, a person who has credibility when it comes to talking about money, guys, what you want to do is you want to make sure you have great credit. You're enhancing your credit while you're increasing your cash flow. Okay. But it also shows people that our Smart Money Club is in full effect immediately. You can now, again, with integrity, tell a person, I'm actually going through, the credit repair program as we speak. Okay. It lets them know that you're using, right, what we're selling, what we're offering. And at some point in time, guys, we're going to build a presentation around just the Smart Money Club, just like we have it for the water and just like we have it for the solar. Okay. So the faster you start using it and being a product of it, guys, the more impactful you'll actually be with your testimonials. Okay. And so you want to test drive the rewards program and the Smart Money program right away. Okay. Purchase what we have, that is of value to you. Imagine, going to a Mercedes-Benz car lot or a Bentley car lot being sold a car, from someone who drives a Toyota. Okay. That person didn't even drive what they represent. Okay. I myself, I have solar. I myself have the water filtration system as well. Okay. I'm just telling you, I will have Ripple right away. And so I am going to buy what we sell because what we sell is of value. Okay. It makes sense for me. And me purchasing it, guys, is going to make dollars for me later. Okay. I am a walking, living, breathing billboard of what we have and what we sell. And you want to be the same exact way. Okay. So become a product of the product. Okay. And again, make sure you level up if you haven't already. Number 5, you want to plug into our proven system. Okay. Guys, we have Zooms, and we have trainings. It's the system that we have a lot going on. Okay. And that's a great thing. And it's just like the radio. You turn on when you want to hear it, you turn it off when you don't. Okay. But we have what we call the Millionaire Mentorship Call because, it's one thing to make money, but it's a whole entirely different thing when you can speak the language of economics and you can have a conversation with someone who is of a 7 or 8 figure, right? And so that mindset is very, very important. And when you unlock a person's mindset, you give them the keys, to a financial future that they've been dreaming about. So that millionaire mindset is every Monday. Then we have solar Mondays, at 10 o'clock p.m. a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm sorry, Pacific Standard Time, right? So we have that called Solar Mondays. We also have, training when it comes to door knocking, trainings when it comes to commercial. Guys, we have a Saturday morning training, where we come and we give our wins and we come and do specific trainings, for the people who are in the community. Okay. But we have all kinds of leadership meetings, sales showcases, lead generation programs. So this system, again, like I said earlier, save yourself time, energy, money, and stress, guys. Plug into the systems. Another part of the system is the script. Give an example. If you're talking to a homeowner, let's see here. Let's just say I'm talking to Kathy. Hey, Kathy, quick question for you. Do you own and produce your home's electricity, or do you still rent it from the electricity company? Okay. She's going to say, well, no, I don't. Okay. Well, we're helping everyone who qualifies to own their own energy like you, who wants to own their own energy like you, take that power from the utility companies and put it in their own hands. We're cutting out the crooks. It can be a simple conversation like that. We have many, many scripts, guys, that put you in a position where when you're having a conversation with people, it's from an educated perspective. We have scripts for people who have real estate brokerages, who have mortgage brokerages, who have insurance companies, and these people have, we have scripts for people who are landscapers, electricians, plumbers, people who are working in and around the house, roofers, and things like that. We want to make sure that you're empowered, right? But you have to plug into the system to have access to that information. Okay. Then you have what we call the 8-point system. And an 8-point system, guys, puts you in a position where you're now tracking and detailing everything you do every day to make sure that your activity puts you in a position where you have no less than 8 points per day. Okay. And so I want to make sure that you track that, want to make sure you post that, and want to make sure that you are, again, teaching that as well. And 6, the last part of this is get registered for the next event. Okay. Guys, when you look at these events that we have, guys, they're always going to be eye-opening events, always going to be great training and great trainers, but the events are where people make decisions to build it big, right? When they see people walking across the stage that resemble them, people who are walking across the stage, right, that look like them, have the same background as them, but they're winning unlike them, right? It gives them hope, and it gives them permission to succeed, okay? And so that's what I want you guys to understand, guys. When people have this 6 steps to a 6-figure income out the gate, guys, it's hard for a person to fail, okay, if they are following these guidelines with every person that they bring on board. So with that, again, this is going to be live real soon, and I want to make sure that each and every last one of you guys study this, make this a part of your repertoire, and make this a part of your culture and your community. Make sure everybody's following this, because we want to sound like a broken record on the way to financial freedom. Guys, when you look at your subscription, okay, and I'll end on this. When you look at subscriptions, subscription-based businesses, okay, they don't blow up and they don't become huge subscription-based companies like Netflix with 260 million subscribers, or Amazon with 200 million subscribers, or Spotify with 239 million subscribers, unless they have, again, a great community and a great system. So I appreciate you guys investing your time here with us this morning, and also appreciate you guys for being the person who carries this message out to the masses. So we'll see you guys at the top. We'll see you guys at the bank. We'll see you guys at the beach. All right. So homie's gonna cut that up. That's the 6 steps, to 6 figures. Y'all got it live. So give me some feedback, guys. You can just come off the microphone. I'm not gonna pick anybody. Give me some feedback though. What you think about that? What you like best about that?
I like that it was clear and concise and straightforward. Thank you so much, and I apologize, Idris, for jumping in on you.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Don't worry. I'm not looking for hands. I'm looking for feedback.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely clear, concise. Love the 6 chapters as well. I think that's be a huge input to when people start making calls and kind of like really creating a list in the right way. So I think that was huge.
Yeah.
Mr. Bean, Kyrie Jenner here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It was most definitely fantastic, and what a great refresher, because I'm familiar with the 6 and I'm familiar with the 6 checker, and it was like, what the heck, you know what I mean? So and even your last statement, we want to sound like a broken record to the 6 steps to success, because again, keeping it extremely simple. I speak for myself, we complicate things. We complicate things a lot. And if we have a track to run on. We have great leadership. Thank you once again. But yeah, that what you just put to get straight to the point, as everybody stated, concise. It's right there in front of your face, and it was smooth. But I don't know if I told you, but Idris knows, and a couple of your presentation is like a fireside chat. So really appreciate you for that.
It's all good. I appreciate you, bro. And when I say I was up 2 o'clock this morning, like I was forced to go to sleep last night. One came and dragged me out of the living room, and I'm sitting there typing away. I'm almost done. At 12, I'm almost done. At 1 o'clock, I'm almost done. At 1:30, I'm almost done. At 2 o'clock, she came and pulled my ears. I come to bed. So, but yeah, we got it done. That's something we've needed. And again, it's all about evolution, about us growing together. Again, The system's not perfect. The people that we have in it, none of us are perfect. But again, in order for us to be a $1 billion payout company, we have to strive for excellence. And so that's the thing that we need to make sure that this system works and that people believe in it. Okay. And so it's nothing, remember, this is nothing that's already been done. I just want to simplify it for everybody. And I'm not introducing it to the whole entire company at this moment because again, there's a system in place, but I need you guys to give it life. I need you guys to get the results and show that it does work. So now when we do, implement it to the company, or I do take this to our partners, guys, they can see the results. They can see where it's coming from. They can see, why this thing is growing so fast and so big. And again, that's what the purpose of it is. That's the system is supposed to help you do all the things that you can't. Okay? Anything else? Anybody else?
Yeah, Mr. Bean, one more thing. The fact that you did the 4 showcases. So basically 2 that you'll do for someone, the 3rd one you'll do with them, and then the 4th one watching is really kind of like having someone step into that leadership role of presenting everything that we've been kind of like talking about over the past 2 weeks or so. So I think that was like really key. And it kind of like sets the right expectations for a new person to know that, I'm helping you, but I'm not going to help you for the rest of your life. And you need to kind of step into your own business to build it. So I think that was huge.
And the cool part about it is, and I'm glad you brought that up. So, it's like show, shadow, duplicate. Right? I show you how to do it. Okay? I do it with you, and which means I'm shadowing you, right? And then I duplicate it through somebody else as well. So show you how to do it. I shadow you, and when I'm doing it with you, and then I duplicate myself through you by walking away and doing it with somebody else. And so let's say if I'm doing the first 4 with you, and boom, 1, 2, 3, I got the first 2 out the back in the bag. We put about 20 people in business, but you're not the guy, right? Let's say Dale is on the call, he's on your team, and he's had about 6 or 7 people get started. Plus Dale is doing presentations also. So Dale may be my guy, right? And so I might actually have my 3rd one be with Dale, right? And so because now he's launching, he's grinding, he's getting it in. And so because you may not be a person who wants to present at all. Right. And so I'll find somebody in your group to turn your group over to, or I'll find somebody in your group or I'll continue to keep finding different points of distribution in your group that I can work with to build around you if you are bringing the right people to the table. And so I'll go do, some with Dale. I'll go do some with Jarek. Jarek's in your group. Next thing you know, you bring Sarah on. I go do something with Sarah with the beautiful hairstyle, right? And so boom, we rock and roll. We got your group lit, right? And so that's Sarah, I had to come back to you, darling. So no, but that's how it works. And so you're always looking for access points of distribution, people who you can build through and build around. And so that's important. So, but that's like you said, that's how you really turn a person's business over to them. Like when I was in real estate, I was an owner operator. I was on a broker, so I didn't hold my license. Yeah, but the broker was in another office. He basically represented me. He got $100 on every transaction. So I was the person bringing the deals to the table. He was the one who represented the office as my broker. Now it's the same thing here. You may be the person who's bringing all the people to the table, and I'm the one helping you build around and helping you develop around you, and so I can find a way to work my way out of your business, and then I just mentor from the top and coach at the bottom. Okay, and so that's how you want to build it out. But you're always looking to find someone to give a day to, and then don't feel bad about if a person is not putting anybody on the call. If a person puts 3 people on the call on a launch call, at that point in time, you know that person is not ready. Okay? Then you pivot and you put somebody else in that spot. That's your calendar, not theirs. Okay, and a person should respect your calendar by filling up those days. Like I'd never have an embarrassing day. I had sleepless nights all the way up until the presentation time because I wanted to make sure that the person who was presenting for me, they didn't waste their time. I wanted to make sure people were on, period. Like I said, at the end of the day, this can ruin our relationship if you don't get on this call. So if you say you're gonna be on there, right? You know, be a man or a woman of your word, because I come looking for you. All right.
And
Don't
Mr.
embarrass
Bing,
me. You feel me? So that part. You know what I'm saying? Landon.
Yes, sir. Real quick, I was just going to make the same point, but I think it's a masterclass actually about building the leader within you and building the leaders around you, right?
Mhm.
So, you're basically putting that into action, showing us how to do that. So I really do appreciate that, and I love that.
Yeah. Duplication is the key, bro. You want to have, like Angel said, you know, even though I might not tell you, Angel, that I want you to be my mini me, I do want you to be my mini me. I want to create as many me's as possible. Because remember, if you got 10 mini me's, right, and you out there, you just balling out of control. You out there recruiting everybody. You out there, you're growing your groups. You got building 8,000s over here, building 2,000 over there, building 4,000 over here. At some point in time, you build a 250, right? And at some point in time, you're sitting there at the convention, right? Watching all your people walk across that stage, getting celebrated. Their biggest cheerleader. They walk up one side, you're sitting there on the other side, waiting. After you've taken all the pictures and you're sitting there on the other side of the table, on the other side of the stage as they walk off, hugging them. You know, I've had grown men literally. One of my guys, from London, and I won't say his name, but he literally he hits what we call a sapphire, and when he hit sapphire, he came off the stage. He was already like crying on stage, like literally because it meant so much to him. But when he got off stage, dapped him up, gave him a hug, and he just lost it. Like it just been to a cry bath. Like it just, dude, I couldn't go nowhere. He locked me up, but I knew it meant something to him because, again, he had a hard time, financially. He was going through some stuff, and that was kind of his moment, and for him to release. And he just sat there. They were already on to the next segment, but he was still crying. And so I had to walk him back to the ropes after a while. But it was just you. That's what means, the most to leaders. The best way you can say thank you to a leader is by doing what they teach you, to do. That's how you say thank you. I don't do lip service. A pair of lips to say anything. I can see if you heard me based on what you do. I can see if you respect me based on what you do. Because when you don't do it, it's just showing me that you're not emotionally sophisticated enough to qualify for my time. Okay? And so that's what it is. There's nothing bad about you. It just means that you really don't understand who you're working with. And that's at that point in time, I have to now give my time and invest my time in other people who do understand my value. And I'm gonna just tell you, you should have the same exact, posture and value for your time. Okay. And so you have these people be like, well, you know better than anybody else. Stop listening to dumb people. People who talk like that, you don't want them around you. Those people are poisonous, cantankerous. Those people will ruin your business. They'll literally, like, when I have people like that and I know they're in my group, I actually get them out of my group. Oh, you can be in a company, right? You just can't be in my community. Okay? Remember, I'm not obligated to allow you in my community. You didn't pay to be in my community, right? As a matter of fact, you're costing me money by being in my community with your negative attitude. So I'm gonna get you out. I'll start blocking you. I'll block you on everything. You're on your own. You actually signed up. You signed up as an independent business owner, as an IBO, not my dependent. All right. And so, do you? I'll still celebrate you. You know what I'm saying? And hey, I'm always wish you win. I never wish anything bad on anybody, but I'm not gonna let you steal everybody else's dreams. Period. Okay. And so, anything else for a wrap up? We got a couple more minutes before we get out of here.
Yeah, man.
yes,
Mr.
sir.
Bean, yeah.
Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so Mr. Bing, sir. So
Laura,
for me,
let me
it's
go with
about.
Laura first. Let me go with Laura first. Ladies first.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry.
All
Thank you,
good.
sir. Thank you, sir. So two things that really stood out to me. Number one, in terms of the six checkers, number one was to look at wealthy and rich people, because as you said, we do tend to focus on people who are in need. And so, having us focus our attention on wealthy people, it makes us attack our chicken list, and it helps us to define that for the newly incoming people. And then the second thing was about setting the 30-day goal. That was very, very powerful because we give them something to do immediately. We don't allow them to just drift off and become a wandering generality. So setting that 30-day goal and reaching out to rich and wealthy people, I thought that was very powerful. And I love the whole thing because I'm a green and I love the organization of it.
Yes, analytical. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, analytical. I'm sorry, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, but no, like I love it because when you said chicken list, I'm like, I didn't want to put chicken list on there, but I want you to know what I'm talking about. That's exactly the chicken list is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Everybody go to the brokest people that they know with the brokest mindsets out there, and you expect them to, you know, understand why solar is the best option for them, right? Broke people only listen to you when they see other people who are smarter than them listen to you. Right? Like for again, example, you have nationalities. Like if you could be in a certain nationality and you can't reach your nationality until your nationality sees a whole lot of other nationalities, follow you and respect you. Right? And so it's again, go to the chicken list, attack the chicken list because those people are on your list and they're on everybody else's too. Make them say yes or no to you. Okay. Before they get to say yes or no to somebody else. Okay. Don't worry about being great. Worry about being first. That's the most important thing. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop getting ready to get ready. Go talk to everybody you know that's influential right away, who's rich and wealthy right away. Talk to those people first because when you talk to them first, the thing that you must understand about people who are very, very successful, a lot of them have more integrity than most people. And so if you talk to them first and they can see you grow after they tell you no, but they can see you grow and they can see your results, they can see your resume, they can see you sell based on what you post. Now all of a sudden, when you follow back and follow through, if they don't call you first, they'll do business with you. Yeah. So that's very, very, very important. And so let's see here. Oh, the 30-day game plan, guys. Also, again, don't forget, make sure people build a 500. I didn't put that on there. Builder 500 should be a 30-day goal. Easy. Okay. Being on the wall of flames, right? The wall of flames, being on the wall of flames, first 30 days, builder 500 should be a goal. Okay. And so let's make sure we get these banners, get these people on these banners, make sure we get them out there. And make sure if you qualify for a banner, make sure you actually give it on me so Omi can send you yours so you can actually publish it. Okay. Appreciate you though. Thank you, Laura. Great stuff. Dale was next, and then we'll go to Brenda. Well, no, Dale, I'm gonna let Brenda go first because she's a lot cuter than you.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, Adele. Sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
I've been trying to hook up these headphones and all. Anyways, talking about building the heart of the company. I mean, with what you just did, you are literally the system that you have created and that you're doing. You're building that heart. You're building the the steps for us to succeed. It's just incredible what you're doing, Mr. B, and I really appreciate it because it takes me back to, I have to listen to this again and redo everything again and call my chicken list, which I have already started. Call some professional people that I know in the construction industry. Didn't want to reach out to them because that's my chicken list. So, but man, I really appreciate you. I appreciate everything you and Ms. Bean do for us. It's time to hustle. It's time to run, but you have our hearts. We have the heart of the company, and you're creating that system for all of us to be successful. So I just want to say thank you, and we got to keep pumping that heart because you have it. You have it, and I love you guys. And let's rock and roll this. So let's build. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Again, and just going back to 360-degree leader, like you said, this can be a pivotal training for the company, right? And again, this can put, like I said, you talking about being the core of the company, being the heart of the company. It's things like this, it's contributions like this, that you make for your company, for your team. You make it for your team initially, but everybody else gets to participate because everybody else won't buy in, but they get to, right? And so that's important. So that's crucial. So yeah, you always want to do something where you bring value to the table, regardless of whether you benefit from it or not. People see that, people respect that, people appreciate that, and that's leadership in its rarest form. So that's how you gain influence, and that's all leadership is. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Okay. And so I appreciate you and your influence also about you actually being one of the first, one of the first female presenters, you know, company in Spanish, yeah, a contribution, speaking to everybody's team, not just your own, right? And just showing people how committed you are by being at every event that the companies ever have, even not the big events, and so you're always there on the scene. So I appreciate you and what you do for the company as well. All right, let's see here. All right, guys, we got a couple more minutes left. Anybody else before we bounce out? Anybody's got some feedback from it? Anybody else want to, when it comes to the 6 steps?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
This is Chris. I think it was
Dale.
my bad, Dale.
My
I thought
bad.
he said I was cuter than you too.
Go ahead, Dale.
I don't
Go
think
ahead,
I'm
Dale.
not agreeing to that, Chris.
I'm just gonna jump in front of Dale just because.
So Ms. Brenda said it perfect, building the heart of the company. Anytime that you come up with a system that just simplifies everything we're doing and adds depth to what the company's doing on the fast start. I mean, for me, I'm busy. I'm just like everybody else, man. I'm so busy all day long. When you simplify something for me to make more money, I mean, I just appreciate that so much. And oh, by the way, building the heart of the company should be a T-shirt for Foresight family because that's exactly what we're doing, and I appreciate that, Mr. Bean. I really do. And I can see that as clear as day, right? I mean, I see that as clear as day. So that's why you and I had a conversation about how many people we're going to have on that stage in April. We need to own it. And that includes me. We all need to own it. We all need to walk across the stage because that's how we're going to be our testimony to you, our leader. So thank you.
And you know what, Dale? It's crazy that we were talking the other day, and you were talking about having your table. And again, as and for those of you who understand it, text your senior partners. I got my table. Period. I got my table. Say text it whether they're here on the call or not. Text them. I got my table for the convention, which means that you're at least building 8,000, right? And so this is how you now create a culture of expectations. Remember, I said is me saying it. You said it's catching on. Your people said it becomes a movement, okay? And your people said it becomes a reality. Okay. And so remember, you get not because you speak not, right? Not just because you are not, but you get not because you speak not. It's been said, it's been written that it was spoken first, and then it happened. Then it was created. Okay. And so at the end of the day, understand that your words have power, right? And your words move people and move mountains, right? Your words change lives. Project 10,000 is a thing. We will take 10,000 families and bring them to the point where they're making $5,000 a month of residual reoccurring income over the next 2 to 5 years. That's a thing. Subscription based wise, we will do that, but it won't happen, unless everybody, takes it upon themselves to make sure it's promoted to everybody. That's our mission. That's our vision. That's our goal for the next 2 to 5 years to get as many people as we can, to understand that Project 10,000, this is what we're doing, this is what we're building, and the people who have the most people making $5,000 a month will be the people who actually have, executive 15, executive 25, executive 55, executive 100, executive 250. Again, the more and more lives you impact, the more and more people you put on that path. Again, the easier it is for you to get your goals. Your goals come with no effort and focus of your own on your own. It becomes a reality based on you actually going out there focusing on everybody else's goals and dreams. So, Chris.
Yeah, so it was really straightforward, concise, to the point. One of the things that I wanted to see get your thoughts on is, I know we're not launching it to the entire company yet, but I think it's a good process to launch to our teams. And I'd asked this some time ago, I think at the beginning, but like if I'm a leader of my team, right, I don't have the ability to like email everyone that's under my downline. I can only email directly people that are sponsored. And sometimes my direct sponsors are just not in the game, but they have people under them that want to be in it. Mm-hmm. How do we go about getting access to that information? Like if I want to send an email blast to everybody that's under me, and regardless of whether, I know one of the things it was frowned upon. I'm like, but I don't care. That doesn't make any sense. Like if I have the thought process is you go through somebody to get to somebody. Like you might have a rock star behind somebody, but if I can't get to them, then they might just tap out and expire. If I could have got to them in time and pushed all this information to them, they could have blown up. But we don't have access to that in back office. It's just I have access to my frontline people.
Right. And so I'll share with you two things. And so when you look at one, the way you counter it, let's talk about that first. The way you counter it, until the company does anything about it, and they may or may not ever do anything about it, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But when you actually have a person, this is why 3 ways and lifelines are so important. Okay. So if let's say, Landon is putting me on the phone with Chris and everything is going fine, and we've been introduced, and I say, hey Chris, would you like to build this thing fast or slow? Fast. All right, well, great. This is what I'll do. Send me your number, okay? And as Landon is working with you, okay, he's gonna keep me updated. Okay? And when he gets you to a certain point, I'll give you a call. Okay. And then, me, you, and Landon will get on the phone. But at that point in time, I'll probably start working with you and Landon. And then at some point in time, depending on how you progress, I'll work with you by myself. Okay. And that, because at that point in time, we got a connection, and you can get a phone number at that moment, just say, text me. Now, keep in mind, this is a double-edged sword. I need you to know that you just can't call me until I call you, because you have Landon. I'm not going to let you circumvent Landon's leadership, okay, to come direct to me because you don't like working with Landon because you feel like Landon is just a builder 500 or a builder 1000. No, now I make it very, very clear, okay, that I'll call you when Landon talks about you, okay. And so that's when and this is I do that. And let's say Landon is a person who is not plugged in a lot. Okay. This is when I do that. I don't do this for 100% of the time. But this when I know I'm dealing with a bush shaker, somebody who's not a builder, and Landon again is I'm just using them as an example. I will actually get that person's phone number because I know the person I'm working with, that person is not 100% sold out. That person that is not following the system, and that person may even if the person's not plugged in 100% of the time, and I see value, I'm definitely getting the phone number right away, because now at that point in time, I'm intervening and I'm saying, hey, look, I like what I'm hearing. If I was to work with you personally, okay, if I was to work with you personally, would you be willing to? And this is when I start bartering, building your list, all the stuff that we have here on this getting started, the 6 steps. Would you be willing to build a big list? Would you be willing to book 4 events? Would you be willing to get that $5,000 a month or that $10,000 a month that you want? Yes. Okay, great. Now I adopt you. I indirectly sponsor you. Landon sponsored you, but I indirectly sponsor you, and I work with you as if I personally sponsored you out the gate. I don't even let Landon work with you, right? Because me and Landon got to understand that he's a bush shaker. He's gonna go out there and find them. He's gonna rope them. I'm gonna brand them, right? And so those are the 2 different ways, that you do it. But when it comes to the company, the reason why most companies won't do that is because, in network marketing, you have your leavers, right? And when they leave, what they do right before they leave, they take pictures and download everybody's phone numbers, everybody's emails, and everything else, and then they start calling people back and spewing negativity and draining the company of its resources. And so that's why companies don't do that, a lot of them. And so that's why you have to be more creative in getting the information from them. But that's also why you also want to make sure that you have extreme value, of plugging people into the actual system immediately and following up with them. Like for me, I make sure I call my people and ask them, hey, what did you like best about what you heard last night? When you heard a millionaire mentorship call that JC did or that Winston did, whatever, what did you like best about it? You know, and I have people tell me that they either watched it and what they liked, or that they didn't watch it and I know who I'm dealing with. Okay? But getting people plugged in as much as possible immediately out the gate, it puts you in a position where when you actually have a group, you're starting to grow your group. You know, you're growing it with good, solid core people, like the people you see here every Saturday. These are my core people, right? But I have a lot of people based on my core people, and my core people behave the same exact way, you know, that I behave, based on the fact they learn that behavior. And and so long as you keep it solid, you keep it 100, you keep on doing the things that you're doing right now, and continue to get better at doing those things, continue to get better at presenting and training and developing and launching, your core people are going to be the same, and they're going to be the ones that are going to be your connectors. And so even though you may not have the emails, you know, you have them, and when you send a message out to them, they'll send that same message out. And that's kind of how I've been combating it, because it's the same way for you. I don't have access to people who are beneath me, but I have access to the people who are the go-betweens. So, but I'll definitely, like I said, that's something I'll find out if one of them will let us do that. I'll definitely let them do that. But you know, think about it. It's like solar companies. You know, solar is your competition, and no specific company is the individuals in these companies, or the individuals who are leaving, especially if they have any type of influence in this company. They go and give a person a red line deal, or a better deal they can get over here, something like that, or make promises to them, whatever it is. They stand to lose a whole lot in its infancy stage as a company. And so that's why a lot of them don't do it.
All right, that makes sense.
Gotcha. All right. Carla, did you have your hand up because you want to say something before we get out of here?
I did, yes. So I just wanted to share another reflection based on what you shared with us today, and that is in reviewing the listening to on my daily commute the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. Besides the law of the lid, what other laws that this process reminds me of is the law of process, the law of addition, and the law of solid ground and respect. So thank you very much for letting me share.
That's one of my favorite books. As a matter of fact, that's the first John C. Maxwell book I ever read. And it took me a while to get out of the law of the lid, out of the first chapter, because that was my biggest challenge. You know, and until you overcome, because most people want to look at the problem as being external, right? It's the company's fault, it's my team's fault, it's always my customer's fault, it's always the mentor's fault, it's always somebody's fault but yours, right? And when you remove that lid with that understanding, and you start, you know, internally realizing that you've imposed a cap on your money, your lifestyle, the way you live, and you did the damage to yourself, that's when you now can move, because you're aware. And when you're aware and you accept it, you can recondition yourself and to make those changes. And so, but I love that book. Again, it's a must read for everybody. 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. If you don't have it, go get it. If you can download it on Audible. You can also, you probably get it free on YouTube. So at the end of the day, I appreciate that. But glad you guys were here with me on this Saturday morning, as it is Solar Saturday. Everybody is at home, you know, so this is a good opportunity for you to call them, reach them, knock on some doors, whatever you're gonna do. But let's go out there and not focus on making money, but let's go out there and focus on making a difference. Love you guys. See you guys next week, same time, same channel. Oh, Monday, Angel is doing Monday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure, for those of you who are looking at doing the role playing, you know, make sure that you are on there at 6 o'clock. Angels did an amazing job on last Monday, and you know, they flip flop, and they share that space and that time. So again, guys, it's always about value. High value is what we deliver, and the results at some point in time, due to the process that you guys are going through, like Carla just said, the money has to show up, the results has to show up, the scoreboard has to light up, and you have to be in a winning position. So again, at 12 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock Central, my presentation will be live. 2 o'clock Central, Ms. Bean's water presentation, Rain H2O would be live. 4 o'clock, it'll double back to my presentation again. Central. Okay, so 12, 2, and 4, you have 3 opportunities to expose people to what we do. 12, 2, and 4 Central Standard Time. 12, you have me. 2, you have Mrs. Bean, and 4, you have me again. So we have some people who want to be exposed, that you want to expose to opportunities. They're going to be on the same lines that we always have our calls on, and we'll go from there, guys. So take care, and see you guys at the top.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you, everybody.
you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
Mr.
you, Ms.
B.
Ray.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bean.
Awesome. Thank you.